Beautiful, vibrant and quirky. 3 words used to describe the surfing mecca that is Jeffreys Bay. Apart from the surfing, the picturesque surrounds of the bay lends itself to an array of activities. However, in South Africa's quest to improve its electrical services, it seems that the natural beauty of Jeffreys Bay and St. Francis might take the brunt of a new governmental project. Eskom has proposed to build a 9,600 megawatt nuclear power plant at Thyspunt, a mere 16 kilometers from Jeffreys Bay and 5 kilometers from Cape St. Francis. South Africa is currently experiencing an electricity crisis due to the sheer amount of electricity that we export to other countries. 2.5 million homes in this country go without electricity. And so, our government has pledged in their 2011 budget speech that by 2030, 22% of new energy generating capacity will be nuclear. This point at Cape St. Francis will see the second and largest nuclear power station being built right on its doorstep over a period of 7 to 9 years. And while nuclear energy claims to be clean energy, many people would beg to differ. Nuclear power relies on water to cool the reactors and would rely on the ocean for this. This could result in rising ocean temperatures, which would be devastating for the 500 million rand squid fishing industry in the bay. During construction of this plant, Eskom would need to pump 6.3 million cubic meters of sand offshore. Once again, this could hurt the fishing industry, as well as the flora and wildlife in the area.
To put that into layman's terms, that is normal tip trucks parked end to end from here to Cairo. It's the amount of sand they're going to pump into the ocean.
Surfers too have expressed their concerns about this. Not only might the sand change the wave in a town that thrives on its surf industry, but it could change the lifestyle too.
That nuclear power plant's going to destroy the reefs and stuff, so I don't see a good aspect in it. It's going to draw a bigger town, make Jeffreys Bay into a metropolis, and destroy our oceans and our reefs, which we're famous for.
Many have expressed their concerns about the unsuitability of the land at Thyspunt for construction. Professor Fred Ellery, head of environmental science at Rhodes University, highlights the nature of the land and flooding in the area.
Our work has also shown that it's very difficult not only to predict when these floods will occur, but also to predict where they will occur. A flood took place about 2 months ago in a place that no one ever would have predicted. And I would say that they endanger a nuclear power plant if they were to occur.
And of course, the biggest question is, what happens if there is a nuclear disaster? Both locals and experts claim that Eskom has not properly thought out the wind direction as well as the possible evacuation routes.
The first draft of the environmental impact report was littered with flaws. That was most probably one of the biggest flaws, getting the wind direction wrong. They got the wind direction as northwest, which is our berg wind condition, which we get very rarely. Our biggest wind directions is normally either westerly or easterly, and mostly westerly. So whenever there is a fallout situation, we are going to get the situation where you're going to have the waves blowing over these towns, Jeffreys Bay and Port Elizabeth.
If a disaster were to happen, it would happen under circumstances under which the local towns might become isolated from the outside world, as has happened in the past. And if a nuclear disaster were to happen under those circumstances, where Eskom couldn't gain access to the power plant, it would be a disaster of international proportions. So I think it's a really poor location for a power plant of that kind, particularly given the fact that the landscape is so soft. The whole land surface is covered in sand and it's vegetated, but the sand can easily give way given enough water supply.
The recent protest against the plant is perhaps also an indication that government should stop looking for answers in the ground, with coal, oil and uranium, and start looking towards the sky. Solar and wind power, if managed properly, can yield the same results as other methods and is faster, cheaper and cleaner. Jeffreys Bay has proposed plans for a wind farm that could be accomplished by 2014 should they start now. Perhaps it's time to start listening to the environmentalists and take a step towards using sustainable and renewable energy sources. It could be the answer to keeping cultural sites such as Jeffreys and St. Francis Bay beautiful and vibrant for years to come.